Here's the truth most people miss about sleep. Sleep doesn't start when your head hits the pillow. It starts 30 to 60 minutes before. That's the time your body and brain need to slow down from the day. You can't go from driving all day straight into a deep sleep. If you skip that slowdown, sleep stays lighter and more broken.
As a driver, your nervous system spends all day on alert. Traffic, mirrors, timelines, decisions. You can't just shut that all off instantly. You have to downshift. That's what a wind down routine does. Your wind down routine doesn't have to be fancy or long. It just needs to tell your body, my day is winding down. Here are a few easy ways to do that out on the road. Dim the lights in your cab or room. Do a couple of minutes of light stretching. Take a warm shower if you have access to one. Listen to something calm or familiar. Read a book instead of scrolling if possible. Even implementing one or two of these will help you wind down.
One of the biggest sleep disruptors is screens. Phones, tablets, TVs, they emit blue light that tells your brain that it's still daytime. It keeps your system alert even when you're exhausted. And when possible, try to put the phone down once you're in bed. Doesn't have to be every night, but the goal is to reduce obstacles between you and sleep.
Now, let's talk about caffeine. Caffeine isn't the enemy, it's a tool. And like any tool, timing matters. Caffeine can stay in your system for 8 to 10 hours. That means a late afternoon energy drink or coffee can still be active at bedtime. So a good target is to avoid caffeine 8 hours before you go to sleep. Like everything, don't try to go cold turkey and make this change overnight. Start where you are. If your last caffeine right now is 3 hours before bed, work towards drinking your last caffeine 4 hours before bed, then 5, and reducing it gradually. This is about protecting your sleep, not punishing yourself or calling caffeine bad.
All right, let's talk about naps. Naps can be helpful, but only when they're used strategically. Short naps work better than long ones. Aim for a 10 to 20 minute nap. That's enough to boost alertness without leaving you groggy. Longer naps often backfire. If you wake up in the middle of a sleep cycle, you can feel worse than before you even lay down. A full sleep cycle is about 90 minutes. So anything between 20 and 90 minutes increases the risk of waking up groggy. That's why 10 to 20 minutes is the sweet spot. Naps are best used during long shifts, resets, waiting on a load at a customer. If you're feeling worn down and still have hours on your clock, a short nap can help improve alertness and reduce fatigue. The big thing to remember is naps support sleep, they do not replace it.
Now, here's where most drivers get discouraged. They think sleep has to be fixed all at once. It doesn't. Sleep improves in phases. You start where you are and you build from there. 5.5 hours of sleep turns into 6. A late caffeine turns into cutting it off before dinner. Chaotic evenings turn into a simple wind down routine. That is all progress. Sleep debt builds slowly. It also unwinds slowly. That is normal.
What gets measured gets improved. That's why tracking your sleep can be really helpful. A wearable can show you patterns you can't feel day to day. Those trends over time matter far more than any single night of sleep. Download Project 61's free driver health app and connect to Wearable so you can see how your sleep lines up with your energy, your focus, mood, and other metrics. That awareness alone often leads to better habits. It naturally nudges you to protect your bedtime or clean up your evening routine. Let the data inform you, not stress you out. Pay attention to the trends. Don't feel like you have to be perfect.
Here's the identity shift you need to lock into. Taking sleep seriously is not laziness. It's proper maintenance. You would never skip oil changes on your truck. You would never ignore check engine lights for months. Your body deserves the same respect. Protecting sleep is part of being a smart professional truck driver.
You will have bad nights of sleep. You'll sleep in noisy truck stops. You'll have stretches where sleep is short or all over the place because of things outside of your control. That does not mean that you're failing. Control what you can control. Take one day at a time and do your best tonight. Then come back and do it again tomorrow. That is how sleep works on the road. That is how you stay recharged over the long haul.